Welcome to the Daily Gerry Anderson podcast, which today is bang up to date with the latest news. Having dealt yesterday with the destruction of the Hindenburg, the presenter now turns to the unfolding Murdoch saga. Here's a note of complaint. Dear Mr. Anderson, St. Patrick did not make Catholics, he made Christians. Pedant. Also, he is supposedly buried in Church of Ireland graveyard in Downpatrick. Your language is good for a while, now it is back in the gutter. We do not like foul language. It's a man complaining about my vocabulary.
And rightly so.
I think so, yeah. You're a Puritan too, aren't you?
Oh, rightly so.
I know it's difficult for me.
Graceful at times.
Mouth like a sewer. Mm-hmm. Did you see the Murdochs being interrogated yesterday? Did you watch it?
I watched some of it.
It's very, very good. I think James Murdoch, I think he was the model for the talking clock. No, but did you see, isn't it the most amazing thing that those two men have run a huge organisation, and they have no idea what goes on in it. Yeah. It's like going into a chip shop and saying, have you any chips? And the fellow's saying, I'm not entirely sure. I haven't been in this chip shop for a long. Well, I got chips here in 2008. Did you? What did you get? I got a fish supper. I didn't come here to 2009, so I can't answer for the people who were there. Are you sure you got that? Do you have a receipt? Yes, I have, and I had it. But there's a fryer there. Look, and there's fish and there's chips in there. I don't know. I'm not sure if I've got any chips or not. I can't answer that, to be honest with you. But I'll get back to you. It's brilliant, isn't it? And everybody's saying things like, you know, these men don't seem to know what's going on. But there's also a possibility, and I don't think I don't want to imply anything, but nobody's ever suggested that maybe perhaps they're not telling the truth. That's a possibility. I'm not sure. I just want to float that. Mm-hmm. It may be that their memories are not so bad after all. Maybe they're just pretending they can't remember. The presenter has still not accepted the principles behind the blanket smoking ban inflicted upon people of Ireland, having always regarded it as unnecessarily draconian. Here he launches on a diatribe which maintains that people at sea have got it right. It was all going really well on my virtual nudist colony holiday until I put the sausages on the barbecue. And then I made the mistake of waving at the woman next door. But at least I got a police escort to the casualty unit. The nurse was great. She said I could have suffered third-degree burns if it hadn't been raining at the time. Next year I'm going on a virtual stay-at-home cruise. There's the thing. Pretend to be in a cruise. You could do that.
Well, you could do that easily.
I could go to the toilet and just lock the door. Stay there all the time. Yeah. Apparently all the drink is free and you can smoke in the bar. Yeah, that's one of the most nice things about a cruise. They've got it organised because they're away from the madding crowd and out in the middle of the ocean on the briny. You can smoke in the bar. Can you? Yes, you can. Do you not see when the cruises we were on, people, there was half the bar you can smoke in and half the bar you can't smoke in?
I never noticed that. Seriously.
Oh, no, there's one.
I didn't notice.
Right, see the bars upstairs.
Anyone went outside to smoke?
Nobody went outside to smoke. They all smoked inside. See, because it doesn't make any difference. Because when you say now, do you remember what it was like when people smoked? It was terrible, terrible, terrible. But the people don't remember anything. Because
where could you smoke?
On the right-hand side. Do you remember the boat we were on?
Right.
Remember all the boats we were on? There was always a place upstairs where the bar was.
Yes.
Well, on the left-hand side you can smoke, on the right-hand side you can't.
I never knew that.
So what happens is you want a cigarette. Sir, I'm just going over to the other side of the bar here. And you see, when you go to the other side of the bar, you smoke and it's okay.
Jeepers.
I mean, why could they not have done that here in the bars? And then they wouldn't have had to shut them all down. Why didn't they say, listen, see that end down that bar, you can smoke down there, but you can't smoke up here. So if you don't want to smoke, drink up here. It's not rocket science, is it?
No, that means you would have 2 bars in every bar.
No, at the end of each bar. You could smoke at the end of that bar. That's what I'm saying. There was one bar on the ship, and the people could smoke down at one end, and the people who were sitting at the seating area at the end of the bar, and at the other end of the bar, there was a seating area, and the other end of the bar, you could have a drink, but you couldn't smoke there. So the people down there who were smoking had no effect at all on the people who weren't smoking, and they didn't really communicate when they had a fag in their hands. When they put out their cigarette, they come up and talk to them. In other words, there was no interference between the social intercourse.
Yes, well, so much so that I never even noticed it.
Exactly. So, yeah. And did you notice the smell of smoke? Were you going...
Had I noticed it, had I noticed that there were people smoking in the bar,
yeah,
I'd have complained to the captain.
Of course you would, but you didn't notice it.
I didn't even notice.
Because you don't notice it.
No.
That's why. The Murdoch hearings were instructive to all students of body language. The presenter, of course, has long graduated from the School of Insincerity, having studied at Nolan's Knee, and consequently likes nothing better than to pass on his knowledge to others less fortunate than he. Do you see what I've learned from the hearings yesterday? Ask me a question. Any question.
What age are you?
Over 60. You see, the pause.
Ah.
The pause is good, isn't it?
It is very
Apparently, I was talking to... No, sorry, I wasn't talking to anybody. I was reading that a behavioural expert suggested that if you don't answer a person right away, it means you're in charge, right? It donates... That's what Nolan does all the time. Do you know when something horrible happens to you and you tell Nolan about it? Go on, tell me about something horrible happens to you. Go on. Let's say you cut your leg in a mincer. Go on.
I cut off 4 fingers in a mincer last night.
Only 4.
Yeah, 4. It was very, very painful.
How did you feel?
Well, I was in shock immediately, and I couldn't feel the pain, but I knew I'd caused awful damage to my hands. I noticed my fingers missing, and
4.
4. You don't say.
That means you've 1 left.
Yeah.
What are you going to do with it?
I'm going to raffle it.
But there are worse things that can happen to a man when the dimming of the day grows apparent and inexorable.
I have discovered, or I think I have discovered...
That's a good pause there, you're learning.
Yeah.
It's a good pause. I listened there because you dried up.
Yes.
And I went, this is going to be good. So I listened, you had my attention.
Yes.
Go ahead.
I think it's another sign of aging, getting old.
Yeah. What is?
This is what I've discovered.
What is
You know, the first sign is that you can't finish a fish supper.
Oh,
that's the first sign of aging.
You mean you throw away half the chips?
You say...
Or you can't finish the fish?
You say to your wife, will we get a fish supper between us?
Let's share
That's a
it.
bad sign. You see, that's a sign. You say...
When was the last time you had a fish supper and ate it on the way home?
A fish supper?
And ate it on the way
full
home?
fish supper?
Yep.
Oh, no.
I know you used to do it.
Oh, no, not a full fish supper.
Of course you would.
No, but either...
No, you get a fish supper and...
I never asked... No.
No, you'd have the fish in one hand and you'd be eating that, like an ice pop, and then you'd just dip in and eat the chips at the same time.
That's too much.
You would hold the fish.
Don't get a fish supper. No, it just shows you never did that.
I did that. You're accusing me of lying again.
You get a fish and a couple of chips, or you get a couple of sausages, as I used to do, and a couple of chips.
If the soldiers don't steal
You
them.
see, or something, whatever. But you never get a fish supper. But the other sign that I have discovered now of aging is...
Go on, spit it out.
I could refuse a packet of crisps.
Whoever thought that day would come? Mm-hmm. If somebody said, "Do you want a packet of crisps there?" No, thanks.
I could say,
Ah,
no.
you
Or
see.
somebody offered me, said, "Do you want?" No way, people offer you a crisp. Do you want a packet? Do you want a crisp? Yeah, I could say no.
As an exercise in comparison, we hold up 2 Northern Ireland icons and compare them. Eamon McCann and Joe Mahon represent all that's good and wholesome in Northern Ireland. The presenter, of course, has gone the other way.
I think he's beginning to enjoy himself. He's enjoying being Eamon McCann.
Well, you see, that's a sign of contentment.
I think so too as well. And
Someday you will enjoy
I quite
yourself.
like this Eamon, this new, older, wiser Eamon McCann.
Do you know why? Because I think I know the reason why he likes himself now. And I'm not saying this is a negative thing, it's a positive thing. Because Eamon has never sold out. All the people, all the tubes, all the people who went into Parliament and took the King's shilling, he never did that. And he was always his own man, and he always said what he thought. And he realises now that he has never, ever let the people down. And he's proud of that. And he's revelling in it now.
He's reveling. And the
Because
arms.
he can say whatever he likes.
I love the use of the arms.
Yes.
And putting the hands behind the bald head and caressing his scalp.
Caressing the words as well. Okay, just for benefit of the listeners, as an exercise in comparison.
But there's a call-in too.
I know. I can't take it yet. I want you to say the following words as Eamon and then as Joe. See what the difference is. The words are this. Keep up the good work. I really enjoy your show. Now, first of all, as Eamon.
Keep up the good work, Jerry. I really enjoy your show.
Now, as Joe Mahon.
Studio Joe.
Yes, Studio Joe.
Keep up
the good work, Jerry. I really enjoy your show.
It's pretty sinister, that.
Isn't
It's
it?
scary.
I'm a joke.
It scares me.
I love your show, Jerry.
But you see, that's nearly Liam Neeson.
It is really news.
It's what I do.
Yeah.
I will find you, and I will kill you.
There's a call on 2.
I haven't time to take it. I'm going to play.
But there's 4 minutes left on the programme.
That's just enough time to play one record, but not enough time to talk to someone on the phone. Believe me, it's what I do. It's what I do for a living. I will find you, and I will kill you. Thank you for listening. Back tomorrow.